Previously on Sin's the Hero's Tale, the party set out from Troy Manor with Sebastian and their newest seeming addition, Julian. At the town's edge, they found the citizens of Antebellum preparing to storm the Great Wood on foot and horseback. Vaguely overhearing Councilman Eusine mention some kind of reward, the massive crowd charged the forest, and the party followed soon after. Eventually emerging in a clearing of the Great Wood, the party came face to face with one of the massive rodents that were the subject of the hunt. The creature quickly called for the help of its pack, and the adventurers soon found themselves in a far more deadly encounter than was initially expected. With some effort, they managed to eliminate all the rodents in the immediate area, but not before Jura was mortally wounded and rendered unconscious. The air of the Great Wood hangs still in the aftermath of this brutal hunt.
We exist.
So before anything else happens, two things. One, I underestimated how big Fireball is. I was going by diameter, or I thought its diameter was 20 feet. Turns out that's just its radius. So now I know it's twice as big
it's
as I thought it was.
nuts.
And second, Charya, you said you healed Jura. We're gonna put a pin in that for just a second.
No, Juro's dead. Got it.
Oh. So, did you want to start making a new character now, or?
No. But
No.
I've already started looting the corpse. We can't.
No, you haven't.
Like,
So, Jura, you find yourself in a dark space. And materializing in front of you, you see a glowing pair of purple eyes, and then a grin seem to form out of the darkness. Well. I wasn't expecting to see you again so soon.
Where am I?
You go to ask this question, the sound doesn't leave your mouth. But this face looks at you. You look surprised. What did you think would happen to you when you're this close to death? Well, I'll tell you. Once you punch your one-way ticket, as long as you've got my mark on your arm, you come screaming right back to me. Not that it's a bad thing, I could always send you back anytime I want. But for the time being, come on, let's get better acquainted. And he goes to... The face becomes that full, shadowy body with the eyes and the mouths that you've seen before. As he takes a step towards you, you notice the two of you become further apart. Oh, don't be shy. I've just come to claim you for a little bit. That is, unless anyone else would prefer to speak now or forever hold their... You hear the sound, almost like a horn of some description, and Juggalo's face looks off into the distance. It blares again, and you see now what can best be described as an expression of, for a brief moment, sheer terror on his face. No. All right, second thought, we'll handle this later. And the shadow disappears. You now find yourself in by contrast now, a perfectly white space. You feel a slight tickling on the bottom of your feet. You're now standing upright, and before you, from beneath your feet spreading outward, there's grass beneath your feet. It spreads outward. You're in a circular clearing in the middle of what appears to be a large forest. There's a deer standing in front of you. But the first thing you notice about this forest, it's eerily quiet, much like the space you just left. There's no sound that travels here. But this deer approaches you, just sniffs you rather innocently. What do you do?
I just kind of put my hand out.
It sniffs it. It gives that little twitchy ear thing. It doesn't run away. It actually appears to stare you almost with a slight leer. As you feel a slight brush against your shins, you look down. There's a pair of rabbits there now as well.
I'm just confused now. Where am I?
But as the deer looks at you, you see its ears twitch, and you feel a slight sense of foreboding as you hear the horn again, this time closer, is what I would like to say if it played for me.
I heard it. Jesus Christ, we hear it
I
twice.
hear it.
And you feel a twinge of pain on your legs. The rabbits have actually bitten the area around your calves. You now fall to your knees.
Ow.
You look at the rabbits, they appear to be malfesting, transforming into something that was not quite the same. The deer now looks at you, its eyes are clouded over white, and it seems to fall over dead to the ground, but as it does, you start to hear the brutal cracking as its bones begin to twist and shift into something that is no longer a deer. Long, almost worm-like tails emerge from the ground, pinning you to it, and this now almost spider-walking deer leans over you, once innocent antlers now twisting into some gnarled abomination of something that you could swear nature has forgotten.
The actual fuck kind of nightmare is this?
It looms over your face again, these just clouded white eyes replacing the, the usual black or dark brown that a deer usually has. Its mouth opens and you hear in the back of your mind, "Once prey, now predator." And as the creature's mouth opens, an uncomfortably long tongue falls from its mouth and rests on your chest. And it drags it from your chest up under your chin. And as it retracts it back into its mouth, you see the deer's mouth begin to twist and malfest as well. Its muzzle now looks more reminiscent of a wolf's as its teeth grow sharp and jagged. It opens its mouth once again. "You have transgressed and have forgotten. You must remember your place." And as the mouth, this snarling maw, opens once again, the deer rears back almost as if to lunge, and as it does, you snap to. You see Charya above you, a glowing energy emanating from her hands as she heals you.
What in the
Hey,
actual
bud.
fuck was that?
Hey, bud. How you doing? How you feeling?
Roll me a perception, Jura.
And now I know why you've been giggling to yourself for the past few days, mumbling something about Jura.
Hmm. I don't know that SCP, unfortunately.
With an 8? Yeah, everything seems fine.
She's gonna kind of snap in front of his face a couple times. You there?
Actually, Charya, you can roll perception on him too if you'd like.
Ah, okay.
With advantage, because you're kind of looming right over him.
Yeah. 15.
With a 15, it was one of these giant rodent's claws that did him in. Why does he have saliva on his chest?
She'll kind of like look down and kind of poke at it and kind of get it between her fingers just to make sure it's not like weird poison or something. Ugh.
Okay, then if you're doing that, roll me an investigation.
Investigation. Yeah. Crit.
Okay, nat 20. No, not poison from what you can tell, just normal saliva, though not from these rats.
This wasn't here a second ago.
Maybe you're speculating possibly maybe he started drooling after he went unconscious. You're honestly not sure.
Do you drool in your sleep at all? Because your chest is covered in it.
Also, for those playing the home game, Julian is currently not here.
And she's gonna smack him on the face a couple of times. Like, hey, come on.
I had worst time.
You had...
Yeah, that rat clawed the shit out of you and you nearly died.
Yeah.
And you had, you had no hit points. I believe now you have 15, if memory serves.
And that's what I had written down.
Yeah.
Wasn't it a higher level cast?
Yeah, that's what the higher level cast got me. Let me double check to make sure.
I
Yeah,
just
I thought it was 10 base, 5 higher level.
Looking for it. What was it?
I wrote down 10.
Well, whatever. So yeah, you jury, you managed to.
Yeah, it was total 15. Sorry.
Okay, so you have 15 instead of 10.
Well, it's fixed.
Yeah, you're still in dangerous territory, so every hit point counts.
She's gonna kind of. You okay, buddy? That rat do a little more than just claw you, or you feeling okay? Fever, nauseous.
I am not jumping in front of you guys anymore.
All right, that's the Juro we know. Haven't turned into a vegetarian, have you?
Oh,
Good. And she'll like offer her hand down to lift you up.
yeah.
You
Okay.
okay?
Don't know. I don't know.
You're really not acting like your normal self, Juro. I mean, sure, one of the rats got you, but there was like a whole bunch of them.
Yeah, rats. Yeah, okay, yeah, okay. I remember. We're good. Okay, yeah,
Good? We're good, man?
Yeah, rats. Round and round. What goes around comes around.
rats. Just rats.
Can I see if he's okay?
Yeah, give me a medical check if you want to check him out.
Probably not gonna get much, but
From a 9, yeah, I mean, Charya healed him. He's up, he's talking, he seems lucid, seems fine as far as you're concerned.
mm,
Yeah, Jura, if you'd like to roll a medical check on yourself to see just what all is going on here. With a 12? You've overheard a couple, because you were a little worse for the wear after the whole incident with your clan. When the merchant caravan returned to a town, you were treated for wounds and for, what did that human doctor call it? Shock? You thought he was stupid. There hadn't been any thunderstorms for several days. You just wrote it off, but it feels similar to how you felt then.
I think I'm okay. Let's go back and get the rat lord, or yeah, get the rat lord.
Yes, you say as you push the now fading mental image of a legitimately terrified juggalo into the back of your mind.
And I kind of just
Alright, well.
whisper to myself, of course he can't use the goddamn key. And just kind of whispering to myself.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
So before you lie 9, actually no, Sebastian completely incinerated this one. There are
he
eight giant
incinerated
rats.
2 of them, I thought.
He hit 2 of them. He incinerated the last one because it was so ridiculously low on health by the time he totally just forgot the word. Lit it on fire.
yeah. Before he casted fireball on its face.
And since those 2 were technically far larger than I originally anticipated, a good portion of the trees have been scorched and their leaves removed.
Well, in that case, let's at least chop their head or get their heads off so we can take them back for the reward. Heard something about a reward for heads or something.
Okay, so whoever is going to try and behead these rodents, roll 8 survivals.
I don't have a blade for this.
I shall do the deed for everyone.
All right,
Do you
Jury's
even
going
have a
for it.
blade for this?
He's got his tail blade.
Yeah, he's got the blade on his tail.
And he's also got an axe that weighs several 100 pounds, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, like literally all you have to do is drop
3,
that like a guillotine.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Okay, so you get...
One of them being a crit.
Right, so you get... Wait, did you do it 9 times?
No,
Oh, no, I was...
one of them was
yeah,
a medicine.
Okay, yeah, I was looking at your medicine check. So then... You managed to get 4 of them clean, 1 of them absolutely pristine. 2 of them, okay, you can... a casual onlooker can see what they came from. And 1, you get the... I guess the way this thing was hit, its lower jaw dislocated, you managed to get the upper part of its skull.
Looking at that one, I kind of shudder, and accidentally drop it.
Well, we got him now, so let's stuff him into a bag and continue going around exploring. Maybe we can find a little bit.
Before we do that, I'm gonna go over, I think it was here-ish, and get my lance that I chucked.
Yes.
Still no sign of our quarry, though.
That's why we're out here, though. This
Yeah.
is just a side bonus.
The Rat Lord. Let's go get the Rat Lord.
Yeah. Need me to hit you with another healing spell, Juro?
I'd appreciate it, but I don't know how well off everyone else is doing.
Pretty mint here.
Sebastian, you doing fine?
I'm perfectly fine, Lady Charia, thank you.
He says as the flames like around his shoulders and that had taken the place of his hair now start to fizzle out, and he looks back back to his usual self.
By the way, cool effect. Might need you if we... To be honest, I didn't know you could, do the whole fire cloak thing.
There are a couple of skills I have that I've sort of kept on the back burner, so to speak.
Puns.
That's how you know it's me.
He says, stroking his mustache.
Alright, well, and she'll kind of look to the rest of the party. Is Matt's character, whose name is escaping you, is he alive?
I believe.
Is he doing fine?
Julian, yeah, he's fine.
Okay, so then yeah, I'm gonna hit Juro with another Cure Wounds. I'm just gonna use the level 1 slot though for it. So another 7 HP for you, Juro.
Alright.
I put them up to 22.
Yeah, 22.
Yes.
Yeah. Alright. Well, now that we're out here, we found what seems to be a whole swarm of them. Hopefully this is all that was out here.
You also heard that scream to the east of you.
Yeah. Well, let's head off to the east and see what that scream was. Maybe our prey took a little bit of the bait we left with us.
Here's hoping.
If not, we get to save someone and act high and mighty.
Okay, then I'm gonna shift y'all back over here for now.
I mean, you say
So-
that, but honestly, I just want out of card as soon as possible.
I know.
Of course we all do.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure none of you are thrilled to be here. Still good over there, AJ?
Yep, still good.
Okay, just making sure. So, you travel a little east. Roll survival to see if you can follow where you heard that sound come from. The one that, if memory serves, did not sound quite like a scream when I did it, but whatever. Okay, so with Jura and Charia kind of leading the pack on this one, y'all managed to find a rather large game trail that cuts further through the forest, and you follow it for a good 10 or so minutes. You see along the way several more of those giant rodents just dead, like some of them completely trampled. You notice a lot of footprints, horse prints, and really it looks like the townspeople just brutally annihilated anything standing in their way. But as you enter another clearing, you notice one that's still alive attacking a gentleman in. It looks like a human man in a large brown duster coat and a wide brimmed hat. He's holding it off with his left hand, and he manages to hold what looks like a flintlock pistol under the creature's chin. He pulls the trigger, it falls limp, and he shoves it off. Beside him is another man wrapped completely head to toe in these, like in this large cloak that obscures many of his features, and there's an older man in significantly more, I guess, regal looking hunting attire, collapsed on the ground between the the gentleman in the hat and the rat that he just killed. And he sees you as you approach. I wasn't aware we weren't alone here. I don't suppose y'all have seen any more of these things.
Just a few more back that way, but we cleaned them up.
About 8 or so.
His eyes widen as you say that. Well, hell, I was having some trouble just with the 2 or 3 we found here. Oh, it seems our employer here wasn't as lucky, eh, Dodge? The wrapped up man nods. You notice around his back he's wearing a very large, what looks like one of those circular potion bottles, only about 3 feet tall and filled with water.
She'll kind of look over at the guy on the ground. So you bit it?
Afraid so. He was one of the. I do apologize. Where are my manners? He removes his hat and he places it over his chest. My name's Jericho Waller, and this here is my friend Dajil. You see the cloaked man. He holds up a hand. Roll a perception, those interested.
No limit perception. Oh, that's persuasion, not a perception. There we go. 19.
We're all pretty perceptive today.
Yeah.
You all notice the slight bulges in his hood on the top sides of his head, and when he raises his hand to sort of gesture a hello at you, his hand has a paw pad on his palm and up where his fingers. This man is a tabaxi. And he's hanging around with a human who very clearly has a Cardian accent, who has addressed him amiably. This is very confusing to you.
Oh, that's a sight for sore eyes. Someone being nice to anyone who wasn't human.
Oh, well, yeah, about that. Cardian by birth, yeah, but citizen of the world by choice.
Hey, I don't judge. Happy no one's screaming at me that I'm a knife here, burn me at the stake. Because I dropped the disguise like back when we first left the main group. Because I didn't want to keep that up.
Right. Well, doesn't make any difference to me. You can hold yourself on a hunt, that's good enough to earn my respect. And you notice the man he addressed as Dajil begins making a bunch of odd gestures with his hands and arms. What are you on about now? And he continues the gestures. I think you're full of it. Gestures some more. Alright, fine. And he walks up to you, Thalia. Ma'am, I don't mean to be untoward, but, you wouldn't happen to know 2 growing in your olfactory sense. It was becoming stronger. And then all at once, it suddenly just got very weak.
Okay. Is there
And
another scent overpowering it?
no, it just has gotten weaker. And as the rest of you look around, you're noticing several trees that look very familiar. You look up, you notice the same two crows from before, and much like they did the first time, they just look at you as you approach.
Trust the
Oh, great.
birds.
Not like this again.
Alrighty, what trap is this?
And as Sebastian looks up at that,
Oh, wonderful. That's exactly what I was afraid of.
Let me guess, illusion magic to keep us trapped in this area.
Yes, what we have here specifically is known as a running in place illusion.
How?
Set in place by some kind of marker, the caster can determine what it is. Something you either hear or look at, and then it traps you in the illusionary realm. So it only looks like we've been moving. In
I'm
reality,
gonna look up at the crows again.
they're doing the exact same thing they did before, much like a actual crow would do. It's just eyeing you.
Thinking what I'm thinking?
Hmm. I have my hunches, and I'm gonna shoot an Eldritch Blast at them.
I think I'm
Alright.
gonna follow up with Frostbite as well.
All right, roll to hit.
Alright, so first one is rolls, and then second one.
Oh wait, let me check that. What was it?
Okay, so I mean they're fucking birds, so
Yeah.
much like the one that tried to sing with Princess Fiona in Shrek, there are now just or not really a pair, I guess a quartet of crow legs just gripped onto this branch. The bodies are gone and there is smoke emanating from the top of each of the legs. You've completely disintegrated these birds and blown 2 holes in the canopy.
I'm gonna take another look around. So if we take out the marker, then we can get out of here, right?
unlikely. It's more like as soon as we looked at the marker, we were trapped. So,
So
what
it
we
was
think,
just a trigger, and we were stepped in the snare.
right. While we think we're making progress, our actual bodies are still staring at whatever triggered us to come here in the first place.
So how do we fix this before we end up as Vampire Chow?
Well, I'm sure, Master Okazod, you're aware of the hidden power that flows through the blood of men like you and I. That power we can call upon to rejuvenate our magical wells.
Alright.
He's metagame. He's referring to sorcery points.
Okay.
I do have a spell that can get us out of here, but I'll have to call on some of mine. I'm afraid in my zeal, those 2 fireballs from earlier may have exhausted that of me.
How much is he gonna need
How much does it cost to restore level 3?
to restore a level 3? Let me see. It is at least 5 points.
And that's exactly what he has. So you watch as he kind of clenches his fist over his chest. It glows with the same vibrant orange glow that you see his eyes normally, like the normal color of his eyes. And his entire body has almost like a brief flicker of flame about it.
Alright. That should be able to do it. Now then.
And he goes to cast, and let me just make sure I'm getting it right. Okay.
Unless I suppose higher than 3rd level, it should be just guaranteed gone.
Right, so since he's a sorcerer, y'all's spellcasting ability is charisma, and that's just a flat check.
Yeah, it's
The DC is 10 plus the spell's level.
yeah, it's an ability check using your spellcasting ability, so it's whatever his stat is, so charisma. It's
Yeah,
just
so
a straight
he's,
charisma check.
yeah, he's a source straight charisma. So.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna hit him with
Oh nope. I will say you don't have to.
Okay.
Sebastian, you lucky motherfucker. So he targets the magical effect, the illusion, and the world around you begins to blur as you all find your the forest around you almost seems to melt away from your vision as you all go back to the area where you first saw the boot prints in the dirt, and you're all still staring down at them. Sharia, roll a perception with advantage.
Oh, great. I don't need it.
Nat 20, you look down in your periph, you notice a and there are fangs around your neck.
Like, as in just.
As in, like, maybe a second away from biting.
Alright, yeah. I'm going to dive out of the way and fire an Eldritch Blast at it.
Roll.
Move, everyone! Pew, pew.
Well, the first one hits, so you manage to...
Max damage.
Alright. So you manage to leap back and throw an Eldritch Blast. You manage to catch this creature off guard, and you blow a... almost like one of those Spanish hats where it's curled up on one side and has the feather in it.
Mhm.
You blow that off this creature's head, and this long, straight black hair falls over its face. And as it rears up, I wasn't expecting you to break the illusion. And the rest of you now look and you see this man as well. Very tall, very gaunt, flowing black, almost admittedly Alucard-looking hair over his face.
Well, let's just say we're a little smarter than some of the people in this neighborhood, and I'm going to take by your eccentricities. You may know what we're here for.
I can tell by the scent. You're one of us, yet not quite.
Call it training wheels.
Interesting. So Captain Gillian sent you here to kill Boudreaux, is that right?
Deal with was the words.
So he's not Boudreaux, right?
No. At least, not
Oh
by
no. I didn't want to deal with this today. And that costed me.
No.
Alright, so... Zach, you have now forced me to do something that I normally love to do, but I don't know how I'm going to feel about it right now.
Oh no. He's gonna kill you.
Well, it's not terrible.
Okay, yeah, 44. That's not bad. As you go to stab at this man, he catches the blade between his fingers, he twists his hand and wrenches the weapon from yours, and he just kind of flings it with his finger and embeds it into a tree, some, 30 or so feet off.
No, there's no need for that. Heaven knows I wouldn't want to spill blood unnecessarily. Not yet, anyway.
Well, I mean, we're about to... It seemed like you were getting pretty close to spilling mine on the floor.
Yeah, what can I say? Traveling during the day makes me hungry, and unfortunately, the cover of this forest is only just enough to keep the sun from being a thorn in my ass.
Well, so, since you know what we're here for, how about introductions, since fighting doesn't seem to be the thing you're immediately ready for.
I'd prefer not to.
Oh,
And-
please, now, you wouldn't dare stand up a lady asking your name. I'm gonna roll persuasion on this man.
Go for it.
25.
With that, he smirks, and he doesn't even bother hiding the fangs. He's got a, stereotypical vampire grin.
Well, that's fair.
Says as he bends down, picks up the hat, and holds it across his chest in a manner very similar to how Jericho did it before.
My name is Valjean.
And I'm Javert. Sorry.
What? No, he's back in the... wait a minute.
But no, I just Charlie is just gonna smile, showing off her own, albeit much smaller fangs.
Vampire initiate indeed. So,
So,
so tell me, Monsieur, what exactly did Gillian tell you?
to be fair, the basics. Your Boudreaux would like to plunge the world into darkness.
would
And, of
like-
course, that does break some rules. Especially the one regarding, well, not fucking with the mortals hard enough that they'd kill you all. That me now.
There is some truth to her words, I must admit. The woman is short-sighted, but I do not fault her this. Yes, that is Master Boudreaux's Grandmaster plan. But as for the war with the mortals, the bringing darkness to the world, these were limitations placed on vampires, the chosen children of Our Lady Malusia, many, many years ago after their creation by Reus, the god of the sun. Limited us, weakened us so that we burn in the sun, that we must sustain ourselves on mortals lest we die or become mummified husks of our former selves. And it is high time that we transcend these limitations and restore Our Lady Malusia to her rightful place at the top of the pantheon.
No, you should know, though. Doing something like this wouldn't guarantee her a place at the top. If anything, it'd probably cause another war.
Or just
Personally,
cast her
Monsieur,
out.
I care very little. I am, well, perhaps not Boudreaux's right-hand man, but pretty high up the pecking order. And if he does succeed, and this comes to stand at the vampires come to stand at the top as they should, I stand to make a pretty penny with my position. Of course, if Boudreaux fucks up, his plan fails. I can easily apologize, prostrate myself before Gillian, and go right back to the way things were. Capiche?
Well, that plan almost worked. And she'll kind of smile.
And how do you figure?
Well, let's just say Gieran's giving one-time offers on first meeting to not apologize, but drop the charade. You obviously know that there's a chance for this to fail, right?
There's always a chance to fail. Nothing's ever set in stone.
And something like this, if you do fail, it could possibly be the end for all vampires.
Possibly. Or it could not. It could skyrocket vampires up to the top of the food chain.
Oh, but even in the pure darkness where you and I may soon reside, even in the darkness, light always does find some way to be an annoying thorn.
This is annoying. Just tell us where Boudreaux is. We're gonna find him anyway. I'm impatient just listening to you talk.
Jura, roll persuasion. 9. Yeah, nothing doing right now. Charia, keep going.
Well, my friend is correct. We are looking for Boudreaux's place, and it does seem we found a lead. Though, it is a very handsome one at that.
Is that
do...
so?
Of course. But at the same time, you must know that Yiren has, put her faith in me and my crew by extension, and if I were to just throw down my weapons and go, this is a great idea, when, to be honest, I do not truly believe in it. And I do question if you truly believe in it. You do know that she will not be taking apologies after the first round of offers, you know this.
I've been told that she is a little more agreeable than that. Well, allow me to correct myself, mon cher. She is a bit of a battle-crest fucknut, but the being she serves is a little more on the level.
well, true. There is a problem with that, and I believe this is one Boudreaux will find. She's not. If Boudreaux does fail, or even if he doesn't fail, no matter what, she is going to be hunting him and everyone that helped him.
Of course she is.
And we do both know how powerful she is.
Yes, I'm afraid if it came down to a bare-knuckles brawl between Bourgeois and Gillian, he would quickly find himself on the ass end of an ass-kicking.
And even if it is not, and you know it won't be just her, it'll be her and her closest, well, her right-hand men and women.
Right, and that can be just as much of a pain.
Not to mention you'd anger Corson, so, and, well, he doesn't seem like one you'd want to piss off.
Roll persuasion with advantage.
27.
And insight is just a flat wisdom, right?
Yeah, insight, well, it's a flat insight, but yeah.
Well, vampires don't have proficiency in that.
Oh, yeah, then it's just flat wisdom.
Okay, so 15. You beat him out. You see him sort of cradle his chin.
Alright. I suppose I'll take pity on you. As an apology for the antics earlier with the whole...
And he gestures to his neck.
I'll admit it was, I probably would have preferred it on a better day under better circumstances.
Honestly, I thought you were with a large group of humans and you had just strayed away. You know the old hunter mentality, take care of the ones who stray from the herd.
Oh, that's exactly what we were planning. We figured you vampires would have something going after the ones who split off too far.
Personally, I was just trying to thin the numbers. Especially if we can take the place of some of the more influential people in Antebellum. But if you're going to be here warding over these people, I suppose it's a waste of time.
Though,
Besides, I'm more curious than most to see how this situation is going to go between yourself and Boudreaux. So I'm not going to give up just yet. I'm going to see where the man's ambition takes him, but I will give you this much. A little bit of information, and a promise that if you do manage to find him, I'll stay the hell out of your way.
I do like that offer.
I figured you would. I'll tell you that you're spinning your wheels out here. Boudreaux has been in Antebellum this whole time. Well enough out of the sun, as I'm sure you can imagine.
Well, I figured as much, but I had to at least come out here and see if you had any of this. Well, his men. Out here where there was a large bounty of humans they could easily pick off.
Yeah, you managed to call us right on that one. So, this is how we hunt. You may want to get better acquainted with this.
Oh, of course, I do admit I'm still learning. Most of this has been luck of the guess and just being in the right place, it seems, and looking at the right blueprint.
Of course, and by the scent of this one,
Okazad, he like strides right over to you and just in your face. And he leans down a little closer to your belt line.
Well,
This one's been to the Underdark, hasn't he?
He crosses his arms at this, like, just look at him, he's like, where are you going with this?
And let me guess, you found neither hide nor hair of Boudreaux, did you?
Oh, don't worry, that was the first place I suggested we looked, and Well, let's just say a little birdie told me, he wasn't down there.
And yet he's not on the surface either. So you must ask yourself, mon cher, what is a place that is below the surface, yet not quite the Underdark?
That is a good question, and I can think
I
of a couple of answers.
A cave.
Oakazad feels like he knows the answer to this.
Below the waterline would definitely be below the surface, but not in the Underdark.
I'll leave you to ponder on that. I'm sure there are several people in Antebellum who would be willing to help you.
Well, then if I was you, I might get a little run on just before, just in case anyone would see us.
I think we're good for that. Conveniently, we're vampires, and you notice parts of his leg almost start to flake off and start rapidly seizing. As the pieces break away, they form into small bats. This effect runs up his entire body, and as it gets to his chest, we're very good at covering a lot of ground in not a lot of time. I suppose I'll see you when you encounter Bourgeois, mon cher. That is, if you manage to make it that far. And his entire face breaks apart and starts flapping away as a flock of bats take off towards Antebellum.
Oh, there we go. I think that was a wonderful little meeting. What do you think, guys?
That was so boring. He couldn't just tell us where he was.
Not on the
Oh.
surface, and yet not in the Underdark.
A few places I can think of that are in Antebellum
Dude.
like that.
There is one in particular I think that might be doing it.
Rolling intelligence for Sebastian.
Can I give him a bardic inspiration?
I mean, if you want to.
I mean, I'm up for it. I haven't used these things in forever and a half. There you go. You get the d6.
All right. Do I roll it?
I mean, you can. I don't. It doesn't say who rolls it. 5, so 20.
20.
So a soft 20. A look of shock overcomes Sebastian's face. He's in the sewers.
Well, that at least hurried up that little question.
Not what I was expecting, but okay.
Yes, but unfortunately it opens us up to a much larger problem. It's a labyrinth down there. It would take us
Wow.
it would take us days to find him.
Well-
If we don't have someone who actually knows which way to go, we may very well die down there ourselves.
Well, I do have a little bit of a help. I managed to grab a spell. When I was advancing my spellcraft, I did come across one that might help, specifically locate objects. And I happened to have a very vivid image of something on Boudreaux's person.
Do an Arcana check for Sebastian. Yes, but that spell has an effective range of... sounds what, 1,000 feet?
About that, we'd still have to get within stone's throw distance, but it's better than nothing.
It does limit down where we have to look. And if we
Yeah.
just simply walk along the surface while having this going, we'll have a rough ballpark figure of where he could possibly be down there.
Yes, but the town is massive, and the sewer system beneath even more so. How many times can you cast that spell before you need to recharge?
Well, right now I have about 2 additional castings, but total of 3. Not the greatest numbers, but I do think we have someone that could help us with this.
You're referring to Mr. Stout, aren't you?
Him and his kin could very well be versed in the labyrinth, would they not?
I would imagine so. Many rat folk use it as a sort of nexus to travel between parts of town quickly.
So we ask him or one of his kin to lead us through, and we find our way. We walk with a guide who knows the ways out, in, and do our sweep. It may take some time, but it's, like I said before, better than nothing.
Very good. And then I suppose... what would you have us do now that we've, I suppose, spared the hunting party from that Master Valjean?
Well, I don't trust him as far as I can throw him, which, depending on which form. But I do think that at this point we should head back and recuperate, recharge, and plan our attack and with contact with Stout and his kin.
Agreed.
Then, I suppose we best make haste.
So I'm gonna say that while Chario was talking to the vampire, Thalia got bored and still in fox form, just sort of curled up and started taking a nap.
Seeing this, Chario's going to kind of reach down and scratch behind one of her ears really quickly.
She's gonna like lazily look up, like, what?
We found out where we need to go. We can head back now.
You won't like it.
She gives a
Hopefully-
yawn and like a little pissed off look.
Oh, if you want to, someone could carry you back.
She perks up with that and looks a little happier.
Alright, fine. I'll carry you back this once.
Oh, you know, no big deal. A monster with a base CR of fucking 13 is talking to you, and you just, go to sleep.
Yeah,
I mean, hey,
it's boring. They already established that there wasn't gonna be a fight, so Thalia went to sleep.
Yeah, I mean, both me and Thalia were getting bored.
Yeah, super bored.
I'm just going to pick up Thalia and, I don't know, let her figure out what position she wants to rest in, like wrapped around my neck or something.
Yeah.
Where she can
Cozy
strangle
that
you
way.
if you say
It's
anything
fine.
stupid.
But yeah, no, I say we head back to town and recuperate and not die.
Well, before we do that, I'm grabbing my lance, which is embedded in the tree.
Yes.
Hopefully it doesn't break as you pull it out.
Roll me in athletics to remove the lance.
Just take the tree with you.
Don't not want it.
Say athletics.
Yes.
22.
With a 22, you jiggle it up and down a couple times, and with a nice woody, you manage to pull it out of the trunk.
You do know that's not a javelin, right?
Talking to me?
He's also not the one who
Yeah.
put it there. Valjean threw it into the tree.
Yeah, I didn't do that.
Sorry, no, my brain messed up. Ignore that.
Yeah,
Yeah, no.
Valjean whipped it like a throwing knife. and
You
just-
also know it. Yeah, you also know it's not a javelin, right?
Yeah.
Dumbass.
Yeah, I guess we head back.
All right, then one more survival. If one of you makes it, then y'all have gotten back to Antebellum. No problem.
Taken care of.
And that'll take up my last spell casting of the day while I disguise myself as
Then
we
yeah,
get back to the town.
yeah, that takes care of business. Can ditch the forest sound. So rolling back, you guys are about I'd say here now. This would have been the opening in the wall around the city, which would have led north out to the Great Wood.
Well, let's go find where we can turn these heads in first and get a reward. So that way this hunt wasn't, so that way this hunt was doubly worth it.
For that reference, Usine Manor would be in this general area over here. Just assume that this entire little block is all his land.
Alright, well, if you guys want to split off and go talk or do other things, I can always go turn the heads in for us.
Ugh, I'm just bored of this place. Let's kill the guy and go somewhere else. This town is boring.
I know. But it's that much closer.
As you go to walk into the town, Charya, a pair of guards cross their spears, and they're both like glaring daggers at you.
I'm disguised. I paid my last spell slot for that.
Okay, next. Oh, right. Okay. Then they do not do that. They instead tip their helmets to you as you pass.
I just give them a nice little smile and nod, and head on towards Usine Manor. I don't know if anyone else is coming.
Yeah, because I just join in.
Can't hear you, AJ.
I said I'm still on his shoulder, right? Because I don't want to go there. Not in fox form.
Hey, you can
I
join.
can walk around.
You can
just, like,
join.
poke me upside the
You can
face.
jump onto my shoulder.
Yeah, I go over to Jura. Like, fuck that. I don't want to go to him.
Fair.
Alright. Jura, you now have a very warm, fluffy scarf.
That's how we get Jura through the cold areas. We just have, Thalia wrap him up.
It's a group effort. When we become D&D Voltron, the cold won't affect us.
Yeah.
We'll have to figure out the rest of the Voltron parts. We'll get there though.
Okay, so if Charya in human form is Sebastian will probably go with you because
Yeah.
it is still a patriarchy here, and the nobles are kind of dicks. Where are the rest of you going?
Well, me and Thalia I think Thalia's kind of at my whim here is where I'm gonna go since she is in fox form currently. Unless she can suggest things to me in her form. I don't know if she can.
She can bark and growl if you go in the wrong direction.
All right,
Yeah,
well,
but
I can work with that.
In fox form, she cannot physically speak.
Yeah,
Just start nipping in the cheek.
but she would want to go to the wherever those guys said they were at.
Do
in
we
the
know?
area.
Do we know
The
where they
inn-
are?
Yeah, Jericho said that they're staying at the inn in the port district, which, per the map, is over here.
Well, that's not too far from where our boat is, I think, right?
No, your boat is at one of these docks underneath. Probably this one here on the left.
Well, I guess we'll go over there since we're pretty much where I want to go anyway. So the two of us will head that way.
Oh,
So-
Kazai, what are you doing?
I said I was going with Charya.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I missed that.
Ooh, okay, so he's going and being the
The muscle.
The muscle.
Definitely best that I don't.
Put that in air quotes.
the guy is going to be the muscle who probably has I think the lowest strength stat of anyone in the party, right?
I have an
No,
8.
no.
I think
But he looks intimidating. That's all that matters.
I don't know why.
Yeah, actually, if that's the case, then yeah, I do not have the lowest because I'm 11.
Oh wow, then yeah, Charya does, huh? How about that?
Yeah.
What are we
No,
talking strength?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I got a -2.
Oh, wow. Oh, never mind. Dolly is the
Yeah.
weakest.
Somehow I am the second strongest, and I have a whole bunch of zeros to my name.
that says something. I don't know what it says, but it says something. Unfortunately for Jura, he can't read. Anyway.
Oh, can he not?
Oh, he can read.
I was gonna say that.
You and me been over this, but it was. Let it be. Anyway, so we're going to the port. They're going there.
Okay. And let me just set up a couple things. I have to reload one track because I was not expecting y'all to. Whenever it decides it wants to load for me.
Tried really hard to get the information out of that vampire. You two were talking too long and boring the hell out of me. I guess
It can drag a bit.
I guess it would make more sense for you guys to reach your destination first, seeing as you don't have to go as far as me and Thalia do.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
yeah.
we're gonna cover them first. So you guys make it back to Eusine Manor. You know Governor Eusine himself is currently out on the hunt. But as you raise up and you bang the knocker a couple of times, the door creaks, you hear almost a strained and then almost like a levering motion as the door is pried open and a very exhausted looking stoat shifts a crowbar to the side with his foot and opens the door the rest of the way.
I'll kind of help him open the door since if Eugene's out of town right now, he doesn't have to worry about getting yelled at for not opening it fully himself.
Yeah, I think even Orcazad would want to help him out at that point. Because this is just...
Alright, so you guys help Stoat open the door. He kind of just hands on his hips, just oh my, thank you, Master Troy. We weren't expecting you back so soon. And ladies, Charia and I'm sorry, I don't think I got your name.
That would be Orcazad.
Master Okazol, then, how did the hunt go?
The hunt, I feel like, went fairly well. We didn't stay too long, with most of the prey scattered and driven off by the trampling of feet.
Now, I have to ask, by what means were you transporting these, rat heads?
I'm assuming some form of bag kind of wrap, so that way they lead all
You
over
did
the
say
place.
when we were doing when you had the bag that you put them in a bag.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So, like, your, I guess the backpack that you would have started the adventure with?
Yeah, and she kind of wrapped them up a little bit so that way they didn't, bleed everywhere.
Mm-hmm. I would
That
say
would be a
even,
little awkward.
yeah, I would say even then there's still a noticeable red stain at the base of the bag.
Probably a
Yeah.
smell too.
Yeah,
She'll have
like,
to
I was
clean
actually just about to say, like, you would notice Stoat's nose twitch. I assume you have something with you?
that. Yes, we were wondering if we could turn in the heads for the reward that was announced.
Oh,
Or should that be for the master?
unfortunately, I'm afraid I'm in no position to offer such things in the master's stead, but, I could rouse the lady of the manor for you, if you'd prefer. Or,
Would-
if it would be easier for you, you could simply leave them here. I can tend to them until the master returns, and then he can reward you himself when he gets back.
That would probably be best. I would not want to bother the lady too much. Also, I know you talked about your kin before down below us, but I was wondering.
Right. There was actually something rather recent that was brought to my attention. One of them, just about an hour ago, said that they saw a cloud of bats flying over Antebellum. Very strange. They don't fly during the day, you see. Not usually, anyway. So we suspected after what you told us before that it may be vampire involvement.
Well,
Did they
that's-
say where they saw them going?
Unfortunately, no. They were watching over the walls when it happened. All they saw was that they flew into town proper, and they rushed to tell me.
Well, we
Not,
believe.
not the north side, east side, not even like a general quadrant of where?
You watch as he, like, visibly begins to take a timid defensive stance. I'm afraid not, sir.
Hmm.
No need to worry about it. We'll find them and get rid of them so that way you will not have to worry about it. But we will need some assistance from your kin as we believe they're hiding in the sewers.
The sewers, you say? Well... And, like, you know, like, when you strike up, or like when you get on a conversation with an old man about a topic with which they're actually knowledgeable or passionate,
Mhm.
like you see just a wide smile comes over his face and almost like a skip come into his step as he starts like walking around like, well, I'll have you know I'm one of the most knowledgeable about the sewer and its layouts in the entire city. I spent much of my youth and my teenage years traveling around down there.
Well, in that case, do you think we could perhaps set up to borrow you as a guide to find them at some point?
I'm not sure setting up would much fly with the master, but should you want, we can rendezvous after the master and the lady of the house have gone to bed. I can meet you outside and we can go from there.
That would definitely be helpful. The sooner we can get rid of this threat, the better.
Of course, of course.
And oh, before I forget, and she'll kind of like pull out the heads and kind of set them, or ask where he might want her to put them.
Oh, out here, please. I must insist that no blood get on the hardwood. And he leads you out front and to a small, almost like a shack on the side of the property.
Alright. And she'll drop off the heads there and...
You open the door, there are a bunch of child rat folk who stare up at Stoat expectantly. This area is, like, they are... Basically imagine trying to fit 100 children in a small, like, suburban tool shed.
That's a lot. I'm trying to take sight of this and...
And you're about to put a whole bunch of bloody rat heads in there with them.
Well, as he opens the door, Stoat pulls up a little latch in the floor, like some dirt slides off this wood, and there's a bit of a generous storage space underneath. There's a little bit of food, a couple of jugs of water, and he comes back up with a almost stern look on his expression. There's a little hit that by accident. He comes up, there's a little silver spoon between his index finger and thumb. Who brought this here? There's silence among the children. I'm not playing games. Who's responsible for this? You see a little, like, non-furred hand raise. Stoat puts the spoon in the hand. Go and put it back, and don't be seen. And this little rat folk boy runs past you into the manor. I do apologize for that, but there should be space enough in this crawl space here to accommodate them until the master returns.
Understood, and she'll kind of, set them and try to keep them away from the food and water as best as possible.
He nods, almost in knowing appreciation.
And she'll kind of look down. Is there, like, enough food for them down here in this place?
A lot of it actually seems to be brought from other places.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there seem to be a couple of loaves of bread and apples. Actually, roll me an insight.
Yeah.
There's definitely enough to feed them all, but you're not entirely sure how Yusin would have given it to them, and you're not about to lose sleep over it.
No. And, with the head, she'll kind of slip him a couple of gold coins, specifically about 10, and just be like, don't think of this as anything other than a generous gift.
Of course, I understand. Thank you very much.
And I nod my head. And kind of look back over at Okazan and Sebastian and be like, alright, well, you've done this. We now have a guide, so let us get back to wherever the others may have been.
And as he's walking you back to the main gate, sort of to see you off. So I imagine you're trying to initiate this operation of yours tonight.
We'd at least like to get started on it if we can't find them tonight, then it will at least get us a start on where they may be.
We still need to rest up before we're actually ready to go down there. I'm pretty sure those rats outside were a bit taxing on our, well, whatever it is.
Shall we try for tomorrow night then, sir? It will afford you a little more time to get back up to full strength.
That should work. And she kind of looks over at Lucas, like nodding.
Oh, very good. If that's the case, then I'll meet you at the fountain in the center of town.
I cannot wait to meet you there. And she kind of gives, a polite bow before heading out really starting to head out.
He returns and he begins walking back to the manor.
Well, that solves at least one thing, Sebastian.
Yes, I believe it does. And I believe Master Stoat had his word. Most of those rat folk do spend quite a bit of time down there when they're young. Before the noble houses start putting them to work.
It wouldn't surprise me if these vampires have started putting them to work themselves either.
Nor I. We must be cautious with who we trust down there.
Of course.
And I would suggest, from this point forward, be rather tight-lipped about who in town with whom we discuss our business.
Of course, it's why I wasn't planning on speaking of any of this with you, see. But with that, shall we find the rest of the group or head back to the manor?
I leave such judgments with you, Lady Charia. Personally, I'm more at home outside the city.
I feel like we're all like that, and to be honest, I cannot wait to get back on the IV and out to sea.
Unfortunately, we're not hitting sea anytime soon.
Unfortunately.
Right, that naval blockade will put a bit of a hold on our plans. At least until they find a patsy with which to pin that murder.
Well,
If they ever.
we'll find someone to pin it on.
Just more work that needs to be done.
And with that, we are going to cut to the pub in the port.
Yeah.
So Jura and Thalia, you both walk in. You notice it's kind of a ramshackle building, just kind of thrown together with whatever the people had lying around, much like everything else in the port district. But towards a window on the side of the building, you see Jericho and Dajil kind of sitting back, just enjoying a pair of drinks. Dajil notices you first. You notice that pale green eye settle on you from under his hood, and he starts gesticulating to Jericho, who turns and looks over his shoulder and waves at you.
I'll just walk over since Thalia's still wrapped around my neck. Like a scarf.
I'm honestly surprised you managed to get in there like that.
Well, it's the port district. Nobody cares.
Oh, fair enough.
It's true, it is surprising that we made it all the way through town without any problems.
Can't hear you, AJ.
And it's just like nobody gave a shit. Of course, they probably could have also thought I was dead.
Well, no, it's more
But they
because
still let the lizard just walk
yeah,
around freely.
just I'm saying me.
True.
You would have definitely gotten some sideways glances, and they would have been watching you like hands on spears, but you've been coming and going through town a couple of times. Most of them just assumed you were doing an errand for Sebastian or Lucian.
Sorry, we'll take a seat next to them.
Yeah, both of them scoot over and afford you room in the booth. Hey,
I'm gonna say I jump off and go over to what's his face's
Dajil.
neck. Yeah. I'm gonna wrap myself around him.
He's defensive at first, but then when he realizes what you're doing, he kind of just relaxes and lets it happen.
That's just not fair, Thalia. I walked all the way over here and you just leave me like that?
She kind of like nips towards him. Nips towards Jura.
Oh, bitch.
Now, hold on. Gotta mind your mouth around the lady there, son.
No.
Yeah, fair enough. So what happened? I figured y'all would have been out on the hunt a little longer.
Oh. Well, I got bored. But then this random guy had a bite neck or something. I don't know. I wasn't really paying attention. After I got bored of the conversation, he kind of took my lance and threw it into a tree.
You see him just blink at you a couple times. I'm sorry, what?
Thalia kind of growls at Drew a little bit.
What? I wasn't paying you, but you were bored too. You were asleep almost the whole time. Anyway, something. I thought it was the guy we were looking for, but it wasn't. It's a vampire. Something in the sewers. Something like that.
Huh? Vampire? What now?
Yeah, bites next and stuff. I don't really know.
Oh, I'm aware of what it is. I just wasn't aware we had one here.
Yeah, it's kind of why we're here. We'll take care of it. Don't worry about that.
I'm gonna have to ask you to rewind that for a minute. Vampire,
Yeah.
as in travel by night, neck biting, blood sucking thing.
Well, it's currently it was the day, but so they can travel the day. But I mean, he was in the shade, I guess.
Oh boy.
Like I said, we're gonna take care of it. We're getting there.
Thalia, you feel kind of jostled around as Dajiel's shoulders shift as he's making symbols with his hands. Right. You got any idea where this thing's holding up?
How can you understand what he's saying? He talks so quietly. Speak up, man.
He's not
Oh,
speaking at all,
That's-
dumbass.
Oh, he talks with his hands. He can't speak at all, Dodge. You can go ahead and show him if you don't mind. And you see that furry little tabaxi hand. He pulls the part of the shawl away from his face and opens his mouth. He has no tongue.
Ah.
And as he goes to bring the shawl back up, he kind of brushes the side of the hood. The side of his face that does not have the glowing green eye does not have an eye at all.
You're gonna have to tell me what happened to you later on. I'm curious about that. What were you saying now?
He starts gesticulating really quick. It's like, nah, he just said he couldn't understand you, man. Short and skinny is he made a deal some time back with something. What was it again? He makes a couple symbols with his hands. Right, a djinn or something. To be able to see the truth of the world, Jinn gave one of his eyes a bit of an enchantment, took the other one and his tongue as payment.
Well, at least you have one eye, and you can talk with your hands somehow. I don't really get that, but, good for you.
That's what he says, but point being, you don't ask for stuff from omnipotent beings and not expect there to be a price tag, eh, Dodge? Holds up a middle finger. Exactly.
Oh, do I know?
Anyway, so this vampire of yours.
Well, technically, at least two of them, because the one we ran into wasn't the one we were looking for.
Valjean also implied the existence of others because he said he wasn't Boudreaux's right-hand man, implying that someone else was.
Yeah, but keep in mind, Jura's dumb, and we'll only pay attention to what he's interested in.
That's true. You were kind of out to lunch for that talk.
Play my character, don't worry.
So 2 vampires.
At least 2.
Oh, hell.
And they're somewhere in the sewers. We're gonna go down there soonish, once we figure out where we can go and stuff. Take care of that.
Or you might want to get you one of the rat folk from around town. They know that area better than anyone.
The other half of the crew might be handling something like that. I don't know, they're smarter than I am.
That's fair. All I know is I'd be lost to get me down there.
Then you don't come down there with us. Unless you want to come down there with us.
I got no interest in tussling with any vampires. I'm a hunter, I ain't a monster hunter.
Well, isn't it just the same thing? An animal's just a different type of monster.
Oh, there's a big difference. Animals you can predict, trust them to rely mostly on instinct and whatnot. Monsters, now they actually try to hurt people. Once you get higher thinking involved, Sorry, I got little interest. And Dajiel starts gesticulating. You see a slight smile under his shawl. Yeah, I guess that's true. Dodge says between the giant rats and your vampires to shoot anything with teeth bigger than its face.
I don't think a vampire's teeth are bigger than its face, so I think you're okay there.
He gesticulates some more. Nah, I don't think he does.
What? What'd he say?
Says your sense of humor needs work.
That was supposed to be humor? But,
He holds up a middle finger again.
well, you
Thalia's kind of laughing.
should
As
have
much
made it a
as
better
fox
joke.
can laugh.
Your execution needs work.
Like a little chuckle squeak.
Pretty much, yeah.
Your execution needs work there, man.
His hands start going a mile a minute, and Jericho just kind of like puts his hand over Dajiel's and lowers them to the table. Now, I ain't going as an in-between for you. You want to argue with this one. You want to tussle with me? Fine. You want to argue with anyone else? You grab you quill and paper and you start writing stuff down.
Yeah, I can at least read. Anyway.
So I couldn't help but notice when we bumped into each other back then. You're a Villashino, aren't you?
Yeah.
So you come from one of them hunting tribes, or were you born and raised in a city?
No, I was from the tribe.
What's that like? I've always wanted to go out and try to mingle with one of them tribes, but they tend to be pretty distrusting of outsiders.
Yeah, needed to pretty stay inside, and I just had to leave. It's just I had to go.
Hey, that's fine. I might be from Card, but I try to spend as little time here as I can. I can understand the need to get away from where you're from.
We're trying to leave here as soon as possible. Everything else is making us stay longer than we have to.
Oh, trust me, I ain't planning on staying either. Once I get wind of a new job, me and Dodge are out of here. Of course, this naval blockade wasn't here a couple days ago, so that may complicate things.
Yeah, I don't know what that's about.
Deception.
I don't actually know, though.
Then persuasion.
Well, he doesn't believe that.
He'd have to roll really poor.
I mean, he doesn't know, so he's just
Yeah,
getting...
so he sees that you don't. Well, I guess we'll have to ask around. I didn't have a whole lot of time to pull one of them sailors aside, what with the hunt going on and all.
Well, hopefully they'll figure it out so we can leave here as soon as possible.
I certainly hope so. We got here by ship, starting to look like we ain't gonna be leaving that way. Though if that is indeed the case, who knows? Maybe one of these rich nobles be up for a hunt up in the Valdo frontier where all the big game is. That ought to be fun.
Oh, do you have your own ship, or how did you get here?
Oh, we booked passage with a merchant.
Oh. If you want to travel somewhere, you can come with us. Constantly going places.
Well, that'd be mighty fine. What do your travel rates look like?
Gonna have to talk to anyone else about that. I'm not
Right.
I don't know.
Well,
Thalia barks at him. Basically just like, free!
I don't know, lady, I don't know what you're saying.
roll performance, Thalia.
Oh.
Let's see if I can understand. Oh, Jesus.
Oh, I think he just heard the new friend.
You're just barking aloud.
Yeah, so Jura, unfortunately, you're not getting anything from this.
Okay.
She
So
just growls at him.
she's mad at something. I don't know what. I
Yeah,
can't tell you. I mean,
Like, Dajiel is still just kind of relaxing, like enjoying the feeling of soft fluff on the areas of his neck that are exposed.
well, if I had to, if you want rates, I mean, most of our people just kind of come aboard that we invite, so I mean, they probably don't have to pay us, but that, again, that's not really up to me.
Well, if it's a matter of providing a service, I'm sure we can do that.
Yeah, I mean, you talk-
How many hunters does your ship have?
Let's see. We're not necessarily hunters, but we do. There's me. There's the fox right there, as you saw. There's the other lizard dude that was with us. He's kind of a prick, though. There's the other girl who I don't fully trust her, but like I don't have no reason not to trust her. She's just kind of shady to me. She did keep me alive though, so I can there's that. There's the Sebastian who's with us. And like 5 others or more. I don't know. I don't feel like counting them all. I got bored.
I was gonna stop you, but I wanted to see how you would flavor this.
So there's a few of us. I mean, we could always use more hands. We got a second boat now. Well, sort of. It's not. It's her boat.
Like, Jericho's eyes go from Jura over to you, Thalia.
And she just sort of nods at him.
I don't know where she got it. She just disappeared. Came back with the boat.
Fair enough. Yeah, I mean, where are y'all gonna be headed?
That's always up for debate. When we're done in a place, we've done a job. We all have kind of our own things to do, but like, kind of go, you know?
Well, that's fine. It's not like we can't find work pretty much anywhere we end up.
Yeah. I mean, for the moment, we're staying kind of in the south part of here, just because of we have good standings with the pirates, pirate lords for the most part.
His eyes go wide when you say that.
We're not aligned with nobody, but we do work for mostly them. I wouldn't mind helping the Navy out, just as whatever.
I wasn't aware you worked with such high-rolling clientele.
Just kind of coincidence, honestly.
Thalia barks and nods again.
Uh-huh. Well, y'all seem like a fine sort, so... Frankly, I ain't heard too much about them pirates, so... I guess their gold's just as shiny as the next guy's, isn't it?
I've only met 3. The first one was League. He was a nice enough guy, I guess. Nothing too impressive. Thalia seemed to get along with him pretty well there.
His eyes go wide again when you mention him by name. League, you mean the pirate lord?
Yeah, that's his name, League.
Well, you said pirates before. You didn't specify pirate lords.
I'm pretty sure I said lords.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
Either
Pretty
way.
sure he said it.
I'm actually siding with Zach on this one. He did say Pirate Lord.
Well, whatever. Then that surprises Jericho even more.
Yeah, is it that surprising? I mean...
Considering there'd be plenty of bounty hunters, naval sailors, and general soldiers of fortune who've been trying and failing their entire lives to get close to them people. It's rarer than you think to find folks who done work for them and come out the other end.
Oh, it sounds like you don't believe me.
I ain't saying I don't believe you. I believe you just fine.
Just in case, I've been holding on to this for a little bit now. I still have one of League's letters of credit, so I show him it. Just to verify him.
He gives it a once-over. Well, double damn. Huh. So pirate lords, what are they like?
Like I said, League's pretty alright. I mean, he's a nice enough guy. Again, Thalia probably knows him better than I do.
If Thalia could purr, she'd be purring right now.
I assume foxes have an equivalent. If dogs can do it, foxes can too.
Yeah, foxes can purr and they can also laugh.
Then I would say you begin to utter a fox purr, which Dajil instinctively returns with a cat one.
Aw, he's so cute.
So yeah, so there's that.
Because his fluffy neck scarf now turned into a vibrating massage fluffy neck scarf.
So adorable.
So yeah, there's that. We met Nikos. He's another cat. He's a pretty fun guy. Got kind of angry, but not at us, but we took care of that for him. And then there was Gar. Me and him did not get well along at first. He almost killed me. Then he got me a new weapon. Now we're best friends.
Now you're gonna have to roll persuasion.
Yura genuinely believes this.
I'm aware.
He's not convincing nobody, though.
So he believes that you believe this. Like, that's, I guess, the good thing when you're telling the truth is it's kind of a win-win, even if you get a shit roll. But he's looking at you like, uh-huh.
Thalia's laughing at that.
He did get me this axe here. I showed him the feather axe.
I would tell you to take that persuasion with advantage, but you'd still be at a 2. Well, definitely sounds like you and your crew are, storied, at the very least.
Yeah. I mean, we still got more to do, and everyone's got their own little things going on here and there and stuff.
Well, then you got you a captain I can speak to and try to arrange something.
Thalia barks, perks her heads up.
To be honest,
So you're the... And he just kind of trails off and points at you.
Well, captain of my ship.
technically she's captain of her ship. I mean, technically, overall, I guess you would say Okazat is, but that's kind of a rise for debate right now amongst the crew. We kind of all just decide things as a group.
Well, if my memory of Kitsune serves me any, unfortunately, ma'am, you and I won't be talking much when you're in your current state.
I don't think you need
She
a
looks
memory
around
for
for like a place for her to change.
There's enough space just outside the booth.
Nobody's gonna see it.
I mean, people are going to see it, but you're in the port district. Nobody cares.
Okay, if you say nobody's gonna care, then
No, like the port district is where pretty much the humans run the town proper. The port district is where everybody else goes, especially races that are not welcome in town.
Okay, then I'll say she changes back into... She drops down on the ground and changes back into her little hybrid form.
that. In that moment, everyone turns and looks at you and instantly cares.
No, I would say you get a couple of looks, namely from people who haven't seen a kitsune before. A couple of the drunker, rowdier male patrons clap because, as far as they're concerned, a fox just turned into something with boobs, but...
She just raises her middle finger at them and then just sits down in the booth.
A couple of them fall silent, a couple of them actually cheer harder. But as you sit down, it excuse me, it peters out.
There you go. Now we can finally understand you.
So you were saying you were one of the captains?
I captain one of the vessels, yes.
Well then, if you wouldn't mind having us along, yeah, I suppose we could travel with you.
I would absolutely love to have y'all along.
Perfect. Then he sort of like raises his mug to you before like slowly just taking a long sip of whatever was in it.
I go ahead and tell them which ship it is. Where it is.
Well, that works.
Not that we can leave right now.
Yeah, that's gonna be a bit of a problem. So do you have any idea what's going on there?
I don't remember, did Thalia... I mean, I know she doesn't know what Charia did, but
You were.
I was there when...
Yeah, you would have been in the room when Sebastian said that they were investigating a murder.
Okay, so I relayed that information, like they're looking for whoever murdered so-and-so.
Yeah, I imagine that would make them a little up in arms. Well, damn. Well, seeing as we've no immediate intent to go on your vampire hunt, I suppose me and Dodge here could lend a hand asking around on the Navy's behalf. Figure sooner we lay that issue to rest, sooner they can get off our backs and let us sail out of here.
Really appreciate the help.
I hope it's not one of our guys this time.
It better not be.
This time?
I say this time, but I feel like it could be.
Y'all don't have a history with stirring up no trouble, do you?
Not on purpose.
He nods sagely. And Dajil actually starts gesticulating. Yeah, trouble has a tendency to find us too. Though, actually worked out fine this time. I mean, yeah, we lost an employer, and that ain't gonna look too good on a resume, but like I said, poor fool paid in advance, and it was a damn good payment.
Well then. If he was a fool, then he deserved to die.
I wouldn't go quite that far. People in Card are closed-minded, yeah, but I ain't about to wish death on any of them.
Not all of them, at least.
No, especially not since there are some who are starting to break the mold of their ancestors and pardon my Luponian, ma'am, start pulling their heads out of their asses.
I completely agree.
Yeah, I almost, no, I probably shouldn't say that on here.
Oh, you're among good company in here. Hell, take a look around.
Should I tell him what almost happened? In the mayor's office?
I mean, you can.
No, I'm saying to Thalia.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, and you've got Jericho's attention now, too, if you asked out loud.
Talk about where the party nearly stabbed the shit out of the mayor.
You mean how Jura almost did that? Because
Yeah.
Thalia wasn't really... She just wanted out.
Yeah, how I almost did that. I guess no one really would have known that necessarily.
Yeah, because you didn't actually
Yeah,
do
no,
anything.
I didn't do anything.
So
Yeah, you're right. So no one would have known
that's
that.
just you.
Like, Jura's pretty dumb. You gotta remember, he thinks you guys know what he's feeling sometimes.
He thinks his friends are more empathetic than they are.
That's, nothing big. Almost stabbed the mayor because he, was threatening to kill a bunch of kids and stuff, so,
Thalia looks at him. You what?
I didn't do it,
like,
obviously.
Jericho hops on that, too. He's like, do what now?
I didn't do it.
She sighs. You'll have to forgive him. He's not that bright.
Listen, it would have been the right thing to do in the immediate time, but I didn't do it.
Right, but that would have caused
So many more issues.
Well,
man.
I didn't do it, so it all worked out, didn't it?
Mm-hmm.
One of the many issues I've been having lately. That's alright. Everything worked out and everything's okay at the moment.
Yeah, as
No.
Jericho begins to relax a little more, he holds up his mug again, this time to you, and before throwing it back, he's like, well, good on you for showing some restraint then.
Pretty good at holding myself back when I need to. Can I roll deception for that?
I would ask you do.
Even I have to call bullshit on that.
It is. Oh, okay.
Oh.
Yeah, that's not happening.
He gives you a knowing look, suggesting he knows you're full of shit.
But I stand strong by my conviction. Anyway, so you're coming to board, are you going to join us? We're all good there.
Yeah, seems as good a course of action as any. Give us a minute to help out with the Navy's work here while y'all are handling your vampire problem, see if we can't get this all squared away.
Oh, number one rule. Okazad is a bitch. Okay to mess with this stuff.
Thalia glares at him.
Uh-huh. Jericho says as Dodge flips open a notepad and starts writing that down.
Like, no. Don't listen to this overgrown lizard.
What? Overgrown?
Yeah.
Very rude coming from an overgrown fox. Can't think of an original insult.
Oh. Bravo.
Like, Dodge just slowly before Jericho holds his hands down again, I wouldn't get involved in that if I were you.
I liked it better when you were a fox. But just a normal fox. It's better that way. We're so
You
mean
want
to
me
me.
to take your tail again?
My tail alone.
I'd have to disagree with you there, sir. Not to put too fine a point on it, but I much prefer it this way.
What everyone else says.
Well, thank you.
And he kind of, as much as he can in a booth, kind of just lays his hands out to his side as if, like, presenting himself. I am but a man with all a man's weaknesses. Rather I own them than try to hide them.
I have a quick question. Was Charya and Okazad coming towards us?
Yeah,
or
I
were
was
they-
gonna say like it would be around this time that
Yeah, because we've been talking long enough. If
yeah,
they were
like
coming-
that was gonna be the point. Around this time, Charya, Okazad, and Sebastian come in the pub.
About time.
Okay,
Where have you guys been?
We were delivering the heads and getting us a guide.
Okay,
What
so
have you two been doing?
I told you it was gonna work out. I told you they'd handle it somehow.
Oh, shut up.
I was
So-
talking more to Jericho.
And she'll, see Jericho and, that whatever his name's. Jericho and...
Dodge.
Yeah, his full name is Dajil, but Jericho calls him Dodge.
Jericho Dodge. And she'll kind of, give a slight wave now that she's back in her non-human form, and she kind of pulls up a seat for one of the nearby tables that's empty and kind of sits down.
Yeah, Dodge
Go on.
waves at you, and Jericho tips his hat. Ma'am.
So
And
I
as-
missed anything?
Oh, as she sits, I say, they've agreed to join us, and while we're doing the, underground hunting that we're about to be doing, they're going to look around town for
Murderer.
information on the murderer
All right.
that's causing the blockade.
It means
What's
getting
your
rid of that
block?
stupid blockade. Be my guest.
Glaring at the two of you. Don't know anything about this murder, do you?
I think you're being racist here.
Well, it doesn't make a whole lot of difference. Believe it or not, Dodge here, his old man, was actually a pretty good town guard slash, I guess you can call him a murder investigator, eh, Dodge? He nods. Yeah, back in the archipelago he's from, little east of Gangren. And I'm sure a little bit of that investigative work chipped off on his son, so if anyone in this town's gonna have an easy time helping the Navy figure out what's what and who's who, it's gonna be us.
Sounds good to me.
Yep, gets us out of here faster.
Do we know which navy, like one of the admirals, or if any of them are like known to be blocking us, or is it just like a group of naval ships that are just blocking?
As far as you're aware, it's just a group of ships.
Hmm.
No one implied that any of the High Commodores are getting involved.
Hmm.
But if you would like to roll a perception,
I will do that.
because you are right next to the water, sitting next to a window.
Got a 15.
Did you roll to? Nope.
Perception.
15, 16. Okay, so with the 15 and the 16, you guys would be aware of a very large number of pretty big, like, frigates and galleons, very heavily armed naval ships sitting in the port, broadsides trained on the docks.
They're ready just to take the whole thing out.
Yep, they don't want anyone escaping in case they are the murderer.
Yeah, you kill one of their guys, they hunt you down to the Anzalo Vienna and back.
Hopefully they'll find the murderer soon, because this is just an inconvenience for us. Thankfully we still have something else to do.
Inconvenience, nothing. It just seems excessive.
You know how many people were murdered?
I did manage to pull this aside. He reaches into his duster and he sets down a, it almost looks like a wanted poster at first, but it's a help wanted poster. And Charya, you recognize the etched image of the young half-orc that you recognize almost immediately. And it's basically, it introduces him as Petty Officer 2nd Class Grumol Taggart, and it explains how the Navy is currently investigating his murder and will reward any information that points them to the killer.
Interesting. Well, she'll kind of look it over and, order a round of drinks for the table. And, well, keep an eye out for information.
Thalia declines the drink.
Okay.
Just water.
Besides that though, anything else I missed while we were out delivering the bounties and stuff?
We told him about the vampires. He's
And
not.
she's just gonna kind of look at him with the side eye kind of glare, like,
What? If we didn't tell, like, if we failed the mission, they were gonna find out anyway when the world goes dark.
You give me so much shit for blabbering, I swear.
I mean, you deserve the shit, and
I mean, that's kind of my point. I get so much shit for it, and he does this.
If he knows about the vampire, at least he's safer because he knows that there's vampires here. God, think about the people sometimes. Jesus.
Oh, I can promise you now, I'm not in with the vampires. And he pulls the side of his mouth away with his finger, revealing his normal-looking canines. And I ain't one of the vampires neither.
See, his fangs are not sides of his face.
either way, and not to get angry at you for that. But,
Joining us anyway, so it's not a big deal.
yes, but at the same time, can you please, let's not spread it any further.
Well,
Okay?
I told him so he would join us, and look how it ended. Now he's joining us. It worked out. Don't be mad at me.
Either way,
Ogazad gives Chario a look.
I give him the look back, and there's like,
I look at
Whatever.
Okazad and look at Thalia, and then look back at Okazad. Remember what you did, mister?
Dajil leans over to towards Okazad and begins gesticulating toward Jericho again. Well, yeah, but you can clearly see he's what are you, a half-dragon?
Yes? What is this about?
See, that's what I'm saying. Dodge is an idiot. He says you look like a half-dragon, but you smell like a drow.
Thalia starts giggling.
Yeah, this is why you got sold off.
He raises his middle finger at Gerard. I will have you know that was actually somehow one of the best things. Fuck off.
And you see, this is our captain here, by the way, quote unquote.
but either way though, not to drag this out anywhere else. At the same time, if you do want to join us on the hunt for the undead, ooh,
Already said no.
I didn't know that. I wasn't here.
I told you he said no. God,
Oh,
people never listen to
He just
me.
said he wasn't
We
gonna
tell
join
him.
us
We,
on the hunt.
we tell him about vampires. Oh wait, he's not joining us on the hunt.
Well, I
No,
mean,
he said he wouldn't join for the hunt, but he would investigate
Murder.
above ground.
I follow the goal and the occasional pursuit of pleasurable company, much as the next man. But I'll be the first to tell you, I'm a little ill-equipped for going after vampires.
That's fine, we'll take care of it. I told you we would. We will.
Well, that's fair. And
Right.
yeah, the least we could do to help is see if we can't get the Navy off everyone's backs here while y'all are down dealing with that.
That would help all of us out.
Greatly appreciated.
Again, hoping that one of us didn't do something to encourage this.
See, now that's the third time you mentioned that. Makes it
I
awful suspicious.
I'm always suspicious of all my crew. One of ours stabbed the pirate lord, and then stabbed him again to heal him.
Should I also mention the one time you did something incredibly stupid in Vernal?
One time I did incredibly stupid, as opposed to how many you did. You made Thalia angry enough to leave. You got Mel angry enough to just let.
I don't even know what she's freaking upset about.
You got sold off because you pissed everyone else off.
Alright, I'm gonna go talk with Mel and see if she's better now. You, Kazad, I'll meet you guys back at the manor. She kind of gives a wave after downing her drink and heads on out to the Ivy to go check on Mel.
All right.
Yeah, I guess I'm just about done here. I gotta go home and check the closet. Monsters.
What?
fuck are you on about?
I'll see you guys later, and I start heading out towards the manor.
I swear.
Okazai
he's
just
getting
stares at
dumber.
Charia for a moment. Oh, sorry,
You see-
Thalia, rather.
You see Dodge make more symbols towards Jericho. Jericho shakes his head. I honestly don't know if we're okay or not.
I swear he's getting dumber.
You and me both.
Well, anyways, Thalia's gonna call it a night too.
Yeah, we probably should all head out. We got a long day ahead of it. Or, well,
Maybe night.
Yeah,
Whatever.
old Stoat said he's going to give you 2 days, so not tonight, but the following night.
yeah,
2
we
days.
gotta.
Jesus Christ.
Well, no, well, it's like, well, we're at the end of the day one. So
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
you're basically at the
You're
end of the day.
including this night. Okay.
Yeah. So tomorrow night, y'all are going to meet with Stoat, and he's going to lead you down.
Okay.
come on, we can both use the rest.
And that seems
Okay.
like a good as place as any to end it.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds good.
Mm.
So there we go.
Well, that was interesting. God, you were boring the shit out of me when you were talking to the vampire.
I'm sorry, I get in character.
I'll have to admit I stopped listening.
Yeah, even I was admitting that was starting to drag.
That's why I attacked to just break the monotony there.
I wasn't trying to keep it so boring. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's alright.
Death by Diplomacy.
You nearly killed the whole party with it.
Yeah, diplomacy worked out fine. We didn't have to fight a CR-13 monster right there.
Oh, it could have been better if we got info.
Honestly, it might have been better to have him fight
Feels
him
like I
here
rather would've
than
fought it.
later.
I found out the reasons that vampires are CR-13 is because they have legendary actions.
Yeah.
I was gonna say to like Sebastian, I was gonna whisper, I was like, can you like burn the leaves in the trees to make sunlight come down and kill this guy? But I was like, nah, this is what Jared would do. He'd just take action right away if he's that bored.
Yeah, so I found out if you take away the legendary actions, you're left with a monster that is admittedly still strong, but not quite CR-13 strong.
Ugh. Through my lance. Of course, I critically fail there. Out of all times to fail.
Well, at least you only rolled a 44 on that severity, though, so he didn't...
Yeah, that could have been much worse.
Much worse.
No one got stabbed. Again, my weapon has once again just been tossed to the side. How many times has that happened to me? We should have a counter.
Twice in as many episodes.
Let's see, yeah, because we had that, the one time where I threw it when we were and hit Esam, and then I threw it again in that same fight.
Well, that was the hammer that you hit Esam with.
No, but it's still, I'm just thinking of in general, how many times have I lost my weapon? Some way of it getting thrown. Been quite a few.
You lost it twice this episode.
Then there was that time Okazad threw the dagger of Rayus off the deck of the Ivy and had to go down looking for it.
No, that was Mel, actually.
That was Mel.
That's right. Yeah, okay. That was
Mel
my
had an
fault.
entire breakdown because of it.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's reason behind that. I'm not going to get into it
I
now.
think I cheered her. I think I ended up cheering her up after that. I don't remember.
I know you
But
helped.
it was interesting. I mean, I like that me and Thalia got to talk to Jericho and Dodge.
Yep. Jericho, Waller, and Dajil.
Guys,
Who I guess now that they're joining you, I have to draw.
Yes,
You
you
got-
do.
Ah, you did this
I
yourself.
require it.
You could have easily said, "Nah, we're just doing our own thing."
And
That-
Thalia will now be learning sign language.
That's fair. If you dedicate time while everyone else is doing stuff to learning it from Dodge, I will give you proficiency in that.
She's gonna start doing it tomorrow. Just FYI, in the next day.
All right.
Also, guys, stop leaving Jero alone to talk to things because he's dumb, so he doesn't understand what he can and cannot tell people.
I know, but that was very. That was very.
I mean, it worked out.
I mean, I was entertained.
Well, the other guys, I mean, at least they give away that critical information. If there's a vampire here, that doesn't really mean anything to tell them, even if they didn't join us. They're like, oh shit, there's a vampire. I'm getting out of here. Or, oh shit, there's a vampire. I'll go tell the officials. So, I mean...
Technically, you already told the official. He just wrote you off.
Who did we tell?
You've seen. Like that was
Yeah.
that was one of the first things you told him is that's why you were here.
Yep.
I don't think I told him that, did I?
No.
Uh,
Jerry
no.
did.
Yeah, you and Okazad did not speak during, I think, all of that encounter.
No, none of us. I think the only one that spoke was Arya.
Yeah, Charia spoke. Yusin invited Thalia to, but she respectfully declined, and then Sebastian carried most of the conversation.
It's mainly you talking to yourself.
Yeah.
Fun, isn't it?
He's had practice.
I also assume we're going to be getting a long night's rest after this.
Hold on, I gotta ask for MJ. Are we getting a level up?
Fuck you. We're done.
Even I knew the answer to that.
I knew the answer going as soon as I asked it, but
I feel like if anything, we're only ever going to get it if we make it to.
well, we have to take care of
after this
Boudreaux.
vampire
I
shit.
mean,
Yeah, I know when
you
we're
know
supposed to
that
get it.
The XP values of
Shut
all
up.
of those
Oh my god, shut up.
No, the level ups are tied to the completion of main plot events.
It's
Y'all-
it's milestone
y'all
stuff.
Can go and, yeah, y'all can go and do anything you want in Loviena, but the level up specifically is tied to the main quest line.
We should go talk to the naval people at some point.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
we've got plenty of time.
chapter. Let me check my notes here.
I'm pretty sure MJ's plan was us going the next one.
Yeah, chapters 2 through 6 are Pirate Lord, Navy High Commodore odd jobs, and then chapter 7 is basically yeah, chapter 7 deadlock to I guess your perception. Chapter 7 is basically the Jagged Crown mission from Skyrim Civil War.
Oh, fun!
I don't know what that mission is. But
I will say there is
Basically, you
a...
choose a side.
Shh, AJ was talking first.
Oh no, I was just saying there is a Navy person I want to collect.
Elect. Interesting.
Yeah. Chris drew a picture of him for the other campaign in Loviena, and
Oh,
I already
right.
want
Oh,
him.
we're metagaming now.
I already want him. I just gotta figure out a way for Thalia to want him.
Oh, we have to find him first.
Yeah,
Like-
that's true. I don't know where the fuck he is.
Well,
Because
Well, we haven't really interacted with any of the Navy, honestly. Mostly,
we only did it back in Vernal.
yeah,
Mhm.
we've really only interacted with Evelier. I mean, we've seen
now I think
others, but
about
we
it, I
haven't really
think-
talked to them.
Actually, now that I think about it, I think I
said
because
the
I'll talk
man
to him
who
more
rolled,
to the-
said the man who rolled a nat 20 talking to Colwall.
I mean, hey, it wasn't really a conversation. It was more of, hey,
let's.
I want to live.
Anger the man.
Yeah, I mean, like, that wasn't a conversation. That was, well, I'm terrified of
Please
you.
don't murder us.
Yeah.
And
Anyways,
also, it bears repeating now that I've got Colwall on the brain. Okaza or Deadlock, if you want to flavor any of Okazad's spells to have different elemental effects than the vanilla game has them, just let me know.
That's kind of what I'm doing. That's kind of what I'm doing right now. Unfortunately, I'm not picking up any new spells or changing out any of them until
Yeah, because literally Colwall's whole repertoire is or
Electromancy.
his offensive ones. Yeah, it's mostly a lot of high end like fire and ice spells, just reflavored for lightning damage.
Jared needs a hardcore beat Juggalo again. He's even more persistent now. Is that goddamn nightmare sequence you gave me?
Yeah, like now that you've seen him scared, what'd you think of that, by the way?
I was like, all right, that's pretty descriptive. I have some chills. That may have also been the cold air coming off my fan.
It was like feel like you were talking about something from Hollow Knight in the deep.
Well, it sounded like kind of Wendigo-ish initially, and then
I've never
mean-
played Hollow Knight, so I don't know.
It's Dark Souls but bugs. It's
Yeah.
a bug soul.
well, it's like Castlevania. But yeah, so there's gonna be questions. So that's gonna be in Jorah's mind, and that's why I was
Oh,
so
I know.
quiet for a while.
I finally settled on like what I personally am like adding to Jura's little flavor text stuff, so we'll go from that.
Yeah, so I don't know if you want to do a one-off thing, or if you're gonna do, or if you want to save that for another time.
There's no need. We can mix it in with the main events.
Okay, just want to make sure.
Yep. Charia has her little venge quest. Okazad is playing the Jackie Chan. Who am I? Thalia has her whatever Thalia is doing, and now you've got this.
And now Jorah's becoming a cursed being.
Well, we all know what Thalia is doing. Thalia is becoming a Pokemon trainer.
Yeah. She's trying to catch
Hate
one of...
Pokemon. No, absolutely not. I despise Pokemon. No thanks.
But you're trying to catch them all.
Not all of them. She hasn't tried to catch everyone. She doesn't like Evelier. They'll
Actually,
be
I'm not trying to catch. I'm just kind of
collecting.
ish. I'm surrounding myself with adorable things.
You had Cervantes for a little while. You had Kulapom. You've got Isam, and now you've got Dodge.
Technically now you...
Exactly.
And technically you've shared, you share Hermes. Since he's
Yeah.
League's, but he's basically yours as
True.
well.
I share Hermes. I've even made myself an adorable thing that will happen in however many weeks time.
At this point in the game, it'll be in around 7 weeks.
That fast? Damn.
We said Kitsune gestation period is only
That's
2
true.
months.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
And so
2
what
months
is
is only
pirate-
8 weeks.
Now this does bring up questions of pirate maternity leave. So
Well, that's something we'll talk about later. I think that's between mommy and daddy, Lord. And that conversation we'll have in another session, so we'll see you guys later, everybody.
Later.
Later.
Later.